All right. Hey, guys, welcome to People's Rights Podcast here with Chris Nelson, my good friend from Florida. And I'm wearing this shirt on his honor or to his honor. How do you say that? To his honor. And to the honor of all the patriots in Florida that I met while I was living over there. Now, a little bit of a background here. I met Chris over a year ago. I think that was the first Delray Beach protest that was organized. It was actually organized by Rachel Cohen, and there was a couple of characters there that that are no longer in circulation. Thanks heaven, but but anyways, we met there. Do you remember that, Chris, when we did that first rally in Delray Beach when they started all the COVID shutdowns and mandates?
Now, is that the car parade back in May 2020?
Yeah, actually, I think it was a little bit before that, but yeah, that's the one. This is the
Oh no,
first week.
March 2020.
March. Yeah, March, exactly. So,
No, not March. Definitely
nope.
not March. It was May. We had the first event I went to was April 16th, 2020. And I was kicking myself for not being involved sooner than that. But I unfortunately believed the 2 weeks to slow the spread lie. And we got involved around April 16th, 2020 was the first event that I attended. And I believe that we met in May, beginning of May 2020 at the Delray Beach car parade, which people were still all freaking out about gathering in groups and blah blah blah. But we definitely were out of our cars, and people thought we were crazy. And yeah, that was the day we met.
That was the first one. What was the first event that you got involved in back in April of 2020? Which one was that?
That was an event in Orlando, and it was organized by Tara Hill, and it was at the Orlando government building. And I remember I saw reopen Florida come and stand up for your rights, and I was like, this is wrong. I actually believed that there was a killer virus. I did, and it was hard not to, because people that I trusted, people that I look up to, were all telling me, Chris, like, this is bad. People are dying, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, from the beginning, I was like, this doesn't feel right. There's
Mhm.
something not right about this. And I kind of ignored my instincts for a while. And then when they shut down my condo swimming pool, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, they're shutting down churches. They're shutting down condo swimming pools. They shut down the beach, but I can still go to Walmart and the liquor store. I'm like, what is going on here? So I found somebody who was organizing an event, and I was like, I'm there. So I drove up to Orlando, and there was an event up there, and it was like, wow, there's a bunch of people who feel the way I do and see things the way I do and aren't calling me crazy and aren't saying that I'm trying to see people die of some virus. And that was the first event. And then when I came back down here, uh, there were about 4 events every Sunday from then on out. And the next event was a car parade, a reopened South Florida car parade in Delray Beach, and that's where we met.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Chris, you've been hard at it for over a year now. I've watched you. I was in many events out there with you. We went to county commissioners meetings in Palm Beach County. We try to meet the governor in West Palm Beach once. We did a lot of events together, and then I had to move back to Utah. But I've kept an eye on what you guys have been doing, and there's a group of you that includes Angelique Contreras and Karen Smallholmes. or Karen Holmes, I should say, and Alana Monath, and holy cow, I'm missing a few names there. But relentless freedom fighters that have been just fighting really hard. You guys have been going to almost all the county commissioner meetings, school board meetings, incidents with Mike and Jill Carnevale, which the two of them are gym owners that were pardoned recently. I want to talk about that specifically. And it's been what, a year and a half almost since all this started, and we got really active with this. And I've seen some successes over there in Florida, and I've been impressed because it took me by surprise. I got to confess that I really didn't think that there was going to be any success in some of these things, and you guys pulled it off. And I've been just really impressed by your hard work and ethic and relentless finger pointing, calling out these government officials, and just brutal campaigns that you guys have put together. You've called people out constantly, and I think I just want to take from you what for example, let's talk about Mike and Jill Carnevale, who were gym owners. Tell us a little bit about that, because I remember while I was getting ready to move from Florida, these people were being harassed by Broward County, and they were told they needed to close their business. And tell us the highlights of what happened.
I believe it was around July 28th of 2020 that I first met Mike and Jillian, and they were filing a lawsuit against Broward County, represented by State Representative Anthony Sabatini, who at that time he was traveling around the state of Florida filing lawsuits against all these counties. So just to put it into perspective for people that maybe outside of Florida, because you have heard Florida is free. Florida never had a mask mandate. Florida never forced masks on children. Florida never shut down. Okay. Not true, not true, and not true.
Absolutely.
Florida has had a mask mandate. But what our governor, Ron DeSantis, decided to do, yeah, that's us there at the segregated room last night at the
We'll talk
Palm
about
Beach
that.
County School Board meeting.
Yeah.
We were segregated, and I believe segregation is bad. Here we are, and we are here speaking out against the mask edict that the Palm Beach County School District has been enforcing. Oh yeah, they had zip ties there. I don't know what they expected us to do, but
Hey,
so
Chris.
Mike and Jillian and I met around July 28th of 2020 when they filed a lawsuit against the Broward County government because they owned a gym and they shut down, which is exactly what the governor and the county required them to do, because Florida was shut down. Our gyms were shut down. Our restaurants were shut down. Our schools were shut down. Our churches were shut down for about a week until a brave pastor stood up and Governor DeSantis said, no, they cannot shut down churches. But Mike and Jillian shut their gym down for about 3 months. What was it? March, April, May, June, July, 4 months. The fake virus pandemonium started around March, and they were shut down through July, and they reopened. But when they reopened, Mike and Jillian said, we're not going to require masks for our people that are working out. Now, around this time, Broward County government decided to pass an edict that said that you must wear a mask while doing vigorous exercise, like CrossFit. Have you ever done CrossFit? It's like the aerobics of the, of today. It's
21st
CrossFit.
century, yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's hardcore. like running up and down, doing weights, strenuous exercise. These
Yeah.
Broward County commies wanted us to wear masks while we were doing strenuous exercise. And look, Mike and Jillian, you can look at them both right now. They're in much better shape than I am. And actually, you can see me in this photo. If you look between the police officer,
Yeah, you're back
yeah,
here.
I'm right there. And
No, listen,
I'm
I
videoing this whole thing.
want to play a little bit of this video just to give some context of what happened there, right?
Carnevale and his wife Jillian defied Broward's mandatory mask order and were arrested 3 times last summer. They said it was their right as Americans not to require their customers to mask up, and the governor agreed. Live last night on Fox.
Effective tomorrow morning, I'm going to sign a reprieve under my constitutional authority. So that'll delay the case for 60 days against both of them.
DeSantis also said he'll pardon the couple next week, wiping away all the charges.
So here's what I'd like to talk about, Chris. I know that Mike and Jill took a strong stance against these people, and they never relinquished. So all credit to them, right? But also there was another element that helped out to get this pardon from the governor, and that was you guys. Wasn't that you and Angelique and Karen and Alana and all these patriots that helped put this information out to the public? And you guys went to a meeting where Governor DeSantis was, and got on his face with a letter saying, you need to pay attention to this, because these people are getting prosecuted. They're going to be put in jail. They already have been ruined. They got, their establishment was closed, and their lease was not renewed, and they were ordered to vacate within 24 hours. And this was all done, with the help of the county commissioners in Broward, putting pressure on the business lease owner, right? The person that owned that leasing space. And they kicked these people out and closed their businesses because they refused to institute unconstitutional mandates upon their clients, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Let me explain how
this?
this all went down. So they filed this lawsuit against Broward County around the end of July, not because they're anti-maskers or any of this thing like that. Honestly, I hadn't even met them up to this point, but they knew that it was unhealthy to have people working out in masks, something even the World Hoax Organization has now even admitted is not healthy. Okay, so they filed the lawsuit based on that. Now let me tell you what happened to them, because this is the definition of persecution. Within 24 hours of them filing that lawsuit in the Broward County Clerk of Court's office, they had police officers at their gym, shutting their gym down and arresting them. Within 24 hours of filing that lawsuit.
Now you were there, actually.
Plantation police officers. Yeah, they had all of them showing up, okay? And this thing, I'll probably even miss some parts of it, but Mike was arrested within 24 hours of filing that lawsuit, okay, by the Plantation Police Department, who is part of Broward County, and they were enforcing a Broward County ordinance, which was saying that we are responding to complaints that you are not forcing your gym members to wear masks. Now, let me say this. We had for many, many months in Broward County snitch lines that were set up. And we were told that every business had to post a sign on their door, complete with the snitch line number, that if people weren't complying, you can call this number and tattletale on them. And Governor DeSantis allowed all this to happen. I want to be clear about this. There's no way he couldn't have known about this. Okay. So all of a sudden, all the haters come out. When that news report came out that Fitness 1440 wasn't requiring masks during strenuous exercise, the haters came out and bam, police were there arresting Mike. Mike stood strong. He spent the night in jail. He was released the next day. Okay, he was arrested, and he's the only one that I know of that was arrested on a criminal charge of violating an order related to the fake pandemic. Okay, so the next day he gets out. He goes back to his gym and reopens it. They gave him a 24-hour, and they kept police cars outside the gym. It's a 24-hour gym that you can get in with a key card. And they had this cop sitting outside the freaking gym all night long, chasing people away with a bullhorn, with a freaking bullhorn. Okay. So the next day he comes out and him and Jillian, they reopen the gym. Well, within about, I believe this all happened within a 1 week period. They were arrested a second time because Mike said, look, I will not. Look, you can arrest me, you can fine me, you can shut my business down, but I will not force people to do an unhealthy action, which would be doing strenuous exercise with a mask on. Now, if anybody wanted to wear a mask, Mike was not stopping them. Okay. He was simply saying, if you want to do strenuous exercise and not wear a mask, you are welcome to do that. We're not going to bother you. We're not going to come up to you and, Chris, you need to wear this. You need to wear this.
Let's play a little bit of this.
So this is only part of the story, but then a third time that week. So the second time, Mike and Jillian, and you can read all about this and see all the documentation because I documented this at MikeCarnevale.com. MikeCarnevale.com. You can see all this. So they were arrested. He was arrested a second time. And they shut his gym down this time for 3 days because they had this rule in Broward County that the first time will shut you down for 24 hours. The second time will shut you down for 3 days. The third time will shut you down for a week. So this myth that is going around that Florida was never shut down, that Governor Ron DeSantis did not allow this kind of communist BS to happen is not true. Okay. So the third time he gets out of jail and he goes back and reopens his gym, still does not require masks. The police come back a third time. And this time they had actually locked the gym door. They were there patrolling this entire time. Like we went back and we looked around and I looked around. Okay. And there were police over to the side. There were unmarked cars. You would have thought Pablo freaking Escobar was in here. This was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen in my life. So the third time, okay, Mike and, okay, no, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to play a little bit of this video because this is your video. Because what I want to focus on this meeting is you guys' involvement as a freedom movement patriot group that has been relentless in the fight. And I want you to tell me what has worked. What is it that you've done that has worked? And I've been looking at all the things that you've been doing throughout this whole year. And this is one of your videos because you've been there as much as anybody or more than anybody else. And, together with the other patriot friends that we have, you guys have just pushed against these tyrants. And I want to highlight that. So let me play just a little clip of this.
All right, it's almost 10 o'clock or after 10. Look at this. Look at this. Police still here. Still here guarding the door. Don't they have any crimes to solve, like real crimes? I mean, do these police have any real crimes to solve? Do you have any real crimes to solve other than standing here and guarding a gym? Do you have any real crimes to solve?
So, so here we have, this is the policeman, right? He's
Yeah,
not
they were
even dressed.
chasing the members away with a bullhorn. They were literally sitting outside a Fitness 1440, a gym. And weren't we in a public health emergency where public health was so important? But McDonald's, oh yeah, they can serve their crap all day. The liquor stores, they can serve their crap all day. I don't think the porn industry ever took a hit. And I can guarantee you crack dealers were still selling crack, but the police were focused on gyms,
Right.
on gyms and making sure that they were forcing masks on their customers, on their members. And if they didn't do that, they were going to get shut down and arrested.
Chris, what is it like these days in South Florida? What is the level of freedom out there? People think Florida is so free. What is the level of freedom in Palm Beach County, Broward County, and Miami-Dade County, the more populated counties of all Florida? Tell me.
Well, I mean, I wish I could finish the Mike and Jillian story because
we'll go back.
They were okay. Well, right now in South Florida, we are finally, thanks to some executive orders that were issued by the governor just about a month ago, our mask mandates are finally lifted.
Okay.
It's going to take some time for demaskification because these brainwashed lunatics are still wearing them. But as long as they're not forcing them on me, I'm happy. But we have dealt with months and months, over a year, of harassment, arrests for trespassing because if somebody doesn't wants you to wear a mask and you won't, they'll call the cops and they'll arrest you for trespassing.
How many people have been arrested? How many people that you know personally have been arrested in Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade in the last year and a half?
Well, myself, Mike and Jillian, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've heard of at least 10 to 15 people that have been arrested for things, but most of the time it's trespassing. It's not, but the main thing is the psychological suffering that's been inflicted on people. And by the way, it may not be Ron DeSantis's policy for children to be masked, but he sure as hell has allowed it to happen this entire time. And we are dealing right now with these school boards that they're corrupt as hell. Okay, and I'll prove it. Our superintendent Robert Runcie down here in Broward was arrested 2 or 3 weeks ago for lying under oath. And he resigned in disgrace, him and the school board attorney. And Broward County gave him a 700 after he was arrested and resigned in disgrace. The Broward County school board gave him a $700,000 severance package. So it's basically like the asshole won the lottery. And unfortunately, and bring this up, I get a little emotional with this because I like Governor DeSantis. I know he does at his core believe in freedom, but he's done very little to stop a lot of this stuff. And now it's kind of politically expedient for him because tides have turned. If you haven't noticed, the psycho mask mob has been relegated to the minority that they deserve to be. And people are standing up and speaking out down here against this forced masking of kids. But to say that we have not had mask mandates in Florida or mask mandates in Florida schools is a complete non-truth.
Right. Chris, how many rallies have you done? How many rallies have you done personally?
How
many rallies
15, 16, 20 that I've organized or gone to?
Gone to.
I mean, that I've gone to, maybe 25, 30 that I've organized, maybe 15.
So you've been relentless, man. I see your Facebook page, and we talk every now and again, and yeah, I see what you're doing. Well, tell me, what do you think has contributed to these small victories? Like Mike and Jillian Carnevale was a great victory that recently happened. They got pardoned by the governor, but that didn't happen by chance. I mean, you guys got on his face, didn't you?
Well, he made an appearance down here to sign some kind of election bill or something. He had Fox News down here and everything, and we know where he is, we know where he goes, and we went, and I yelled at him to unmask the children. I got a response from him. I was removed from the room, but that's okay. But my friend Angelique went up to him and actually shoved the paper in his face that told of Mike and Jillian's arrests and what's happened to them. And literally after he said, like, it's on video, he said, okay, I'll see what I can do about this. And within 2 days of that, he's on national TV pardoning them, because the Broward County prosecutor wanted to throw them in jail. And even after all these mandates have been lifted, he still wanted to throw them in jail for 10 days. And they both said, no, we're not taking your stupid deal. And finally, thanks to Angelique, really, we got the governor's attention, and he pardoned them on live TV.
Right, right. I saw that, and I was really impressed with that. Now, I saw that as a huge victory for our friends and neighbors. Now, here's another small victory that we've had, right, or that you've had in South Florida, and here's a group of segregated patriots, right? They wouldn't let you into the meeting without a mask, so they put you in this room, like lepers of old, and so you can share your leprosy with the other ones, and then you could speak via remote virtual appearance, right? And you spoke in that. I heard your speech, and many of these people here spoke. I see Angelique right here, and Alana Monath over here, and I don't know if Karen Holmes was here. Was she? Who else?
She's outside the picture. She was in
Okay.
one of her quiet modes that night,
Right. Yeah. Right. And so you put some pressure onto the school board. You guys really let them have it. And how many people went to this protest and demonstration and public appearance? How
I
many
would
people?
say there were probably 100 plus parents and children outside, but
How was
the
that
one that was a
organized?
couple weeks, that was mainly organized by the parents. They started a Facebook group, and for some reason it wasn't taken down or censored, but they started a group, and the parents, this was really a straight up grassroots thing. The parents organized this, and I was honored to be involved in it. You can see it's mostly women, which is actually mostly the case with a lot of these things. I mean, I would say most of our demonstrations and protests are about 70 to 80% women. And, that's great, but where are the men? You know, I get it. We have jobs, we work and stuff, but what are men doing today? I mean, at a school board meeting, I get it. People rely on women. People are looking at women to be strong, but where are the men? I mean, us men, we're not supposed to be little sissy pandy boys. I mean, we're not supposed to. Oh, I think today it's like thought that, oh, men are just supposed to be quiet. We're supposed to be the quiet ones that are at home, holding the family together, and we're supposed to not speak very much, and we're supposed to just be silent, and that's somehow viewed as a virtue. Well, I call bullshit on that. Men need to stand up and stand up in a big way. We need strong men, strong, loud men today. I don't care what somebody has told you that men, oh, we need to be quiet. No, men need to stand up.
They
Stand
do.
up.
They
Where
do.
are the men today?
Here's the man. Look, here's the man.
With the group Reopen South Florida, and I sit down here in the segregated room where you segregated people due to a medical issue. Guess what? Segregation is wrong. And my hero, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., said injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And we are seeing injustice to the nth degree today. I stand down here proudly with the unmasked.
So background to this is your appearance at the Palm Beach County school board meeting, right?
Yeah, that's right. That was last night at the Palm Beach County School Board meeting.
So tell me, what kind of pressure did you guys put on this that is yielding a positive result for the freedom of the people?
I mean, well, we had 90 something speakers. We held them there till almost midnight. And it was 100% people speaking out against forced masking on children. And it was emotional. And I don't see how these people didn't hear this. I mean, we were loud and clear. And they're like, okay, no mask, no forced masking next.
Oh, we lost Chris. Dang it. Chris, you there? Oh boy.
Next year. And guess what? We're gonna let your see me. Yeah.
There you are. Okay, I see you. You're back.
Well, basically, we came together and said that's not good enough. We want the masks off the kids. We want them off now. And people stood up and people spoke out.
Very good. Very good. Well, so to recap this whole experience of a year and a half, what kind of advice do you have to other patriots around the country that you believe have worked? Give us that.
Well, you got to it's like catching a wave. If you've ever caught a wave in the ocean, whether you're surfing or body surfing, is you got to look at what's hot right now. And a lot of us knew that forced masking of children was wrong, but sometimes you have to wait until the issue is hot and people are fired up. And once you see that wave coming, you catch it. And don't ask why it's coming now. I believe that's mainly in the hands of God. Just like the waves are in the hands of God, the waves of how people feel and what people are focused on are in the hands of God. So, I mean, there was the Mike and Jillian thing. There was the the masks and the sores. There was the reopening things. There was reopening bars and nightclubs. There was the shutting down of churches. There was now it's the unmasking of children. There was the reopen the beach for a while. There was there's always something. I mean, and when we did our Million Maskless March down here in Fort Lauderdale, it was just the fact that it was April 10th. It was 1 year since they instituted this, and people were clearly over it. And I didn't know it was going to be as big as it was, but I put out a post on Facebook, and it turned out to go and get picked up by Daily Wire, Breitbart, all these places. Our protest at Target on September 15th, 2020. I didn't know that was going to get 39 million views on Twitter. I mean, it just it was because an anti-masker or a pro-masker, a mask lunatic took our video and posted it on the internet, and it got that many views and that much attention. Like, I didn't know these things were going to happen at the time, but really it's about just following your instinct. Don't follow the media. I mean, pay attention, kind of get a feel for what's going on, but know in your heart and talk to God. God will let you know what is the important thing at the time. And if you follow that, if you follow God's will, and you follow, because God will put feelings in you, God will put things in your head, and if you follow that, then you will know. You will know that now is the time. Now is the time to strike. And right now, it's getting the masks off the children. We know masks should have never been on children, but right now is the iron is hot, as they say. And I'll tell you, people's rights has been a great way to, because you don't know what's going to happen. And the great thing about peoplesrights.org and why I love it so much is because you have access to a group of patriots in your area that you can bring out. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's my bro, 50 Shades Away. Oh, hey, you made it on there.
Did she happen to catch that? This is on
Hey, look,
Newsweek.
let me tell you, if you haven't been on 50 Shades Away, all right, then you're not a pro freedom person, okay?
You're not a
If you
player.
haven't been retweeted by 50 Shades Away, I don't know what the hell you're doing, all right?
Yeah, dude.
But what's been so great? I mean, he's what they meant for evil, because this guy here, 50 Shades Away, he's a total douchebag. His whole Twitter is based on mocking people like us that don't believe in masks and stuff like that, but and pointing us out and shaming us. I mean, the whole point of that Target video was to us to be shamed and possibly, have penalties against us, and it did end on that. We got $100 fines, which were all dismissed, by the way. And here, let me see yours.
This is the video that went viral. Actually, let me put the sound to it.
What? That's not a law. That's not a law.
Yeah, it is. They can get fined up to $10,000.
No, they cannot. They cannot.
Yes,
That's
they can.
illegal. They cannot.
Yes, they can.
Okay, right.
What about if the workers in there get corona and they can't work anymore? What about their families?
Yeah, get the flu.
What about their families?
This girl.
It's not about you. It's not about you.
So let me give you the background on that.
It's not about you. When they say it's not about you, they mean it's about me.
Yeah,
these COVID cult members, and it's a cult. It's just like they used to set up religions. They set up cults. They have their false prophets. They have their God. They have their adherents. They have their commandments. I mean, it's COVIDism. It's a cult. COVID is a cult.
It is a cult.
And they just it just causes people to act crazy. But this guy, 50 Shades Away,
to say the least. To say the least, we got picked up by Newsweek on this story by 50 Shades Away, made that video viral, and Newsweek picked up the story and they titled it, "It's My Choice, It's My Body, COVID Deniers Mock Girl as Utah's ICU beds fill to 91%.
I mean, 91%. First of all, that's a load of crap.
It is a load of crap, because you know what they did is
these
they
hospitals were never full. The whole thing was fabricated.
It was fabricated.
It was all you
know what they did?
I don't believe. Some people disagree with me on this, but I don't believe that COVID-19 is a real thing. I think it's the flu, pneumonia, and other common colds rebranded. That's all I think it is. But I got to run. But I just want to say that it was People's Rights was a great way to call attention to things, because we were able, because there were so many times that Mike and Jillian were in trouble, and Mike's like, get to 1440, get to 1440 now. The cops are here again. They're arresting us. And I was able to put out a call to action on People's Rights and get people there. And that's why I love People's Rights. That's why I use it, and why I'll continue using it, and why it's such a great tool to have, because in this day and age, and don't look, just because the COVID fake virus crap has died down a little bit now, don't think that we're going to have our rights violated a lot. They're going to come out with something else. Something else is going to come this summer, whether it's another fake virus or whether it's some other nonsense. Some other panic is going to come this summer where they're going to use it as an excuse to take away your rights. So people's rights is the place to go and where we hooked into. And, you know, wherever you are, text rights to 801. Wary of filling things out and putting their name and everything in this. Well, I mean, this is Ammon Bundy. This is somebody you can trust. This is a network you can trust. And if your rights are being violated, you will know that you will never be alone. You can contact your local person, your area assistant, and then which would be me in Broward County, and we can get the message out like that. And bam, if your gym's being shut down, if you're having your rights violated, if they're trying to take your kid away from you because you're an anti-masker or a COVID denier, you get that word out, and we'll be down there peacefully. Look, this is peacefully every time. Look, a lot of us carry, we do, but we are always peaceful, and we always operate within the boundaries of the Constitution and the laws of the United States. But I'll tell you, who the lawless people are the ones that are issuing these mandates that are lawless and unconstitutional. And if you want a family of people, of patriots who can be there for you, text rights to 80123. I cannot tell you more. Get involved in this. Become part of people's rights.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. So just, what I'm hearing from you is this is what I'm getting from your example. And when I say you, I also include all the rest of the patriots that are fighting there in South Florida that I really admire. I think you guys are a good act to follow. And so, the message I believe is be relentless. Don't stop, don't give up. The other thing is wait for the right timing, to take up an issue and just round up the people behind you and go put pressure on these officials. And then, and probably the first thing to do is just, be in tune with God's callings, right? I think I heard you say something like that. It should be number one, but that's what I'm getting from this, and I really commend you guys for fighting so hard. I watch you guys, and I wish I was there fighting with you. I remember my good times with you guys, and just very proud to know people like you and Angelique and Karen and Alana, and remind me of the other names. There's just so many good patriots working there.
Well, there's some great freedom fighters down here, and just remember, you are in the right. You are not in the wrong. They will tell you that you are on you're the one in the minority. You know what? Sometimes we got to be in the minority, okay? Because by the way, the reason we don't live in a direct democracy or a democracy is because the majority of people get it wrong a lot. And if this last year has taught us anything, it's that the majority can be wrong. But guess what? In the end, what is right is what works out. And listen to that still small voice inside you when things are going a certain way and everybody seems to be going nuts. And then there's that still small voice inside you saying, this is wrong. There's something not right about this. I know it to my core. My pastor, for God's sake, I had to leave my church because my pastor shut his church down for 6 months. My world got turned upside down on its head this last year, just like almost all of yours did. But even when you're pastor, even when you're church, even when you're rabbi, even when all these people are going nuts, remember, they're all human beings. But you have that still small voice. That's the voice of the Holy Spirit inside you telling you this is wrong. Stick with that voice. Don't go with the crowd. because in the end, and we're seeing this right now, it's turning back because people are realizing that this has been a giant scam. And that still small voice was telling you from the beginning.
Yeah.
And just listen to that above anything else.
I agree. I tell my wife, I said, Carmen, when everybody's going north, we're going south. That's, that's the way I roll. But yeah, I think you're right. Thank you so much. I don't want to take more of your time. You've done so much. You're an example to follow, and all of my good friends out there in Florida, in South Florida, I commend them. I love them. I miss them. And you know what? I may be back to Florida, so we'll see. Maybe I'll find you guys again there, and we'll be able to fight together. So, anything else
I'd
you
love
want
to
say
see you
before
again,
we-
Raul. Thank you for thank you for that pressure cooker you gave me. It's been great, and we definitely hope that you come back to Florida.
All right, brother.
We
I'm
could
glad
use
you're
another strong freedom fighting man down here.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. We need
All
them
right.
all across the United States for sure. Well,
We sure do.
best of everything, Chris. I love you, and send my love to everybody there. And we'll keep fighting for freedom here and wherever we're at. So,
All right. Thanks.
everybody have a great day. Thank you so
All right,
much.
you too.